Welcome, one and all, to part 2 of my series for the best shotgun in Warzone and the best potential shotgun for the meta. Now, if you missed part 1, let me catch up to speed real quick with a quick TLDR. The Street Sweeper and the Gallo are both incredibly strong shotguns, but overall, I found the Gallo to be a better shotgun because even though it lacks a tiny bit behind the Street Sweeper in terms of time to kill up close, the Gallo has much better range, and you can expect to kill people quicker and easier at range as well. So I said that I think the Gallo was the superior of the two. For this video, we're going to now compare the Gallo and the shotgun that most people probably still have nightmares about, the Doof, or its actual name, the R9-0 shotgun with Dragon's Breath. What we're going to do is compare the two shotguns, how's the range, the shots to kill, and all that kind of stuff. Now, to give you a recap of the Gallo is an absolute monster of a shotgun in Warzone. It has a 3-shot range with the base gun of about 8 meters with a fire rate of 232 rounds per minute, which can be bumped up with a few barrels, taking it up to about 266 rounds per minute. This gives the Gallo a 3-shot time to kill of about 517 milliseconds and about 451 milliseconds for a faster barrel. If it takes 4 shots to kill, it's going to be around 776 milliseconds and 677 milliseconds. Still really good numbers overall, and that's not even to mention the crazy combat stock build you can do, which I also made a video on if you want to go check it out. But this gun will let you pump lead downstream really effectively. If you want to see the Gallo compete against the Street Sweeper, I'll leave a link to that video as well. It's the first video of this little 2-part series, just comparing those two guns in particular. Now, let's just go ahead and hop on to the R9-0, which is what most people are probably dying to know about. First off, let's talk the rate of fire. The R9-0 is kind of a quirky gun. It's a double barrel, it's a pump action type of shotgun. You get 2 shots that fire pretty fast and then a delay in between. Now, this burst speed is at about 300 rounds per minute. The delay in between is at about 500 milliseconds. As you can probably tell, this delay is definitely what is going to get you killed when you use this thing. Luckily, the R9-0 with Dragon's Breath is a shotgun that can actually 2-tap players. This means if you get a 2-shot kill, your time to kill with this thing is pretty fast. Now, normally the time to kill would be about 200 milliseconds. That's what it takes for 2 shots at this RPM. But with Dragon's Breath, you do have a burn that has to take effect to get the kill. It doesn't add a huge amount of time to your time to kill, but it is noticeable. It's never instant going up against someone with 3 plates. It always takes just a second right after you get that second shot off, and then boom, they're dead. This is something I've noticed some people don't really take into account when they talk about this gun and its time to kill. Of course, the delay is only noticeable against fully armored players. If the enemy only has 2 plates, then you can basically just get 2 shots instantly though. But naturally, you want to know how quick you can handle someone with 3 plates, not just 2. To be fair, if you do run into someone who has virtually any damage done, like they got nicked in the chin by a butterfly or something, then you can easily get this 2-shot to be an instant kill. 2 shots from the R9-0 will leave you with like 5 health left or something ridiculously small. So we have 2 quick shots, then the burn that finishes the job for a fully armored player. This burn is giving you roughly an extra 14 frames or so on average, which is about 233 extra milliseconds of time for them to die with EOD on. I found it to be kind of inconsistent with how long it would take with both EOD on and off, but I figured most people would probably be running it as their tier 1 perk, so I would test it with that. So realistically, your time to kill is actually at about 433 milliseconds compared to the original 200 milliseconds, just because of that extra burn time. Now, while this isn't as amazing as people probably thought, this is still a really good time to kill, and it's faster than the Gallo's fastest time to kill with its fastest fire rate. But time to kill isn't everything. If we look at the range for the R9-0, you can actually get 2 shots up to about 9 meters, which is pretty amazing, and I mean, that's really strong. At 9 meters, other shotguns are going to take 3, 4, or even 5 shots to kill, so this 2-shot range is just downright nasty. That's if you're aim down sights, by the way. Hip firing, realistically, it's going to be more like 5 to 6 or so, which is still really good. But if you manage to aim down sights and get on target well enough, you can be surprised by how far it'll get a 2-shot kill. Whether that's consistent or not, we'll get into that soon. In between shots, say if you don't kill in those 2 shots, it's going to have a small delay between them. It's actually not really that small, it's pretty bad. This delay is about 500 milliseconds, and this really hurts the R9-0 pretty bad. This delay will get you killed, and it's going to force you to have to be pretty mobile to avoid getting shot. If you're out in the open, Well, good luck. What this means is if you miss these 2 shots, your effectiveness just goes way down. So your time to kill ends up going up to like 800 or so. That's like Model 680 levels of slow. God forbid it takes more than 3 shots, which sometimes it can depending on range and how many pellets hit and just how bad overall your accuracy is. So this should tell you, the R9-0 is actually a pretty high risk, high reward type of shotgun. It's 2 shots or nothing. 2 shots or you're dead. A lot of people probably think the R9-0 is just a noob cannon now that gives you free kills, but you really need to be careful with how you use this gun after its recent nerf. Is it still amazing? Absolutely. Is it as annoying and overpowered like how it used to be to people? Not really at all. It's much more balanced than how it was pre-nerf a few months ago. The Gallo, on the other hand, has no 2-shot kill range against full health and fully armored players. You're looking at least 3 shots to kill. The highest possible 3-shot kill range is with the Ember sighting point and the Ranger barrel, which take it up from 8.2 meters up to about 11.6, which is just damn good. But if you want a faster rate of fire and good range, use the reinforced heavy barrel with the Ember sighting point, taking it up to 10 meters or so with a fire rate of about 266 rounds per minute. Also, just a note, the testing I did on the R9-0 was with the Sentry barrel and the choke, so basically its best possible range and setup. If we compare the 2 guns in terms of time to kill, you'll see that the R9-0 does win, and it's up to about 9 meters with its 2-shot kill range. The Gallo with its 3 and 4 shot time to kill is slightly slower, but not by that much. Of course, when you miss those 2 shots and it takes a third on the R9-0, it's game over and the Gallo wins here. But like I said, time to kill isn't everything, and the R9-0 does not behave consistently enough to get these 9-meter 2-shot kills all the time. It's just not going to happen. Now, for the big question, what you're all probably dying to know, which of these shotguns is the best? And, well, I want to choose my words carefully here. I think both are incredibly strong shotguns and both are top tier in the shotgun class. The R9-0, even after its nerf, is still pretty strong and overall a pretty good choice. The Gallo has such a good time to kill and pretty good range and mobility that it's also way up there in the shotgun class. Now, the way people play is typically they want the path of least resistance. What I mean by that is that people want to use what's the easiest to get kills with, or what's simpler and effective to use while still getting the job done. I mean, look at the FFAR, for example. It's kind of just infected Warzone. Now, yes, the R9-0 technically can 2-shot up to 9 meters, giving it awesome range and a super fast time to kill if you can hit those 2 shots, but that's the thing. You have to hit those 2 shots, otherwise it takes a third or, God forbid, a fourth, and your lethality just goes way down, and it will get you killed if you miss. If you can hit those 2 shots accurately though, you are going to put people down really fast and they're probably going to send you some hate mail for it. Now when we look at the Gallo with a good setup, it still has a fast time to kill with a potential 3-shot kill up to about 9 meters or 10 depending on the barrel and the build. While it technically isn't as fast as the 2-shot time to kill by the R9-0, the Gallo overall is so much more forgiving and it's much simpler to use. There's no weird burst delay that the R9-0 has, and that's really what gets you killed when you use it. So it's one of those 2-tap and done guns, whereas the Gallo can just spray and pray and has great range and an awesome fire rate, and you can even get a faster fire rate if you want. Now, for most people playing and most people wanting to have a good effective shotgun out to a good range that's still super strong up close, I have to say, I think the Gallo is going to be the shotgun of choice, and ultimately, I can see this shotgun easily becoming the new meta for Warzone shotguns. The R9-0 is just less forgiving, and it takes a bit more accuracy and timing than the Gallo. Most people, when they think of a shotgun, they probably think of that gun that's just like balls to the wall, up close and personal, get out of my face type of gun, where you just unload and bam, they're dead. Screw your SMG, screw your FFAR, take a face full of buckshot and go back to the lobby. And the Gallo is just the closest thing to getting a gun like that. Again, the R9-0 is still really strong and still great, but overall, I have to say the Gallo is much simpler to use, it shoots faster, it has great range, and you won't have to worry about how inconsistent the R9-0 can sometimes be if you don't get your shots placed right. I have died a lot of times using the R9-0 just because my second shot was slightly off, and then the third shot was so delayed that the enemy just deleted me. For some really good players who have good positioning and awareness of their gun and how it works, the range and all that, the R9-0 may be a great choice, but like I said, I think most people will probably want to use the Gallo because it's easier to use and has some damn good stopping power. So if you want the TLDR or the rundown for what I just said, use the Gallo because it's simpler to use and more forgiving and much more consistent. The R9-0 is 2-tap and quit, and it is a bit harder to do consistently, and because of this, the Gallo is the superior one of the two for now. And that is my verdict. I think that the Gallo comes out on top for most cases and most scenarios, and I really think of the shotguns in Warzone, the Gallo is probably going to be the new king of the shotguns. It's just great all around. It's really, really strong. It's very, very good. And I think if you haven't used it, you are really missing out because this thing is insane. And if you put that combat stock on and you get that extra strafe speed, you are a madman. It's ridiculous. Again, I made a video on it and compared it to playing Doom because it's so funny. So you should check that out if you haven't. But like I said, I think that the Gallo has potential to be meta in Warzone, especially when the FFAR and the AUG and all these annoying guns finally catch a nerf. It's safe to say a lot of people have probably been seeing a big increase in the number of players using the Gallo and even the Street Sweeper recently. I think after the R9-0 nerf, a lot of people were so scared to use it and, well, they're just avoiding it entirely without even giving it the light of day again. I actually can count the number of times I've seen a Dragon's Breath R9-0 in Warzone, Plunder, and Rebirth Island on one hand. Like seriously, no one uses it anymore, and I get why, given that the Gallo and Street Sweeper are both much more new and also, dare I say, better to use. And with that, I'd like to end the video here. I want to know though, what do you guys think? Do you think the R9-0 is still the superior shotgun of the two or of all shotguns? Do you think I'm full of crap and the Street Sweeper is actually the best of all shotguns? Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more fun shotgun goodness, and be sure to check out my Twitter. I'm close to 250 followers on there, and my goal is to hit about 400 or so by the end of 2021, so please help me reach that goal. It's a great way to stay in touch with me, tag me in videos, ask questions, and all that kind of jazz. And with all that being said, I want to wish you all a happy day/night, and I'll see you in the next video. And go try the Gallo if you haven't, you really won't regret it.